Because we were told by our Creator what is to happen. As I watched in my dream, the fourth animal rose up out of the ocean. This is the one that 2nd Ezra is talking about. This is the one that takes over control and power over all the earth, as described in Revelations chapter 13. He will require all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, all orchestrated by this beast that I am speaking of right now. And think about how this could even be possible until now, where you have a worldwide surveillance state. Then I watched in my dream a fourth animal rose up out of the ocean, too dreadful to describe and incredibly strong, devoured some of its victims by tearing them apart with its huge teeth, and it was far more brutal and vicious than any of the other animals, and it had 10 horns. I watched as thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days, the Almighty God, sat down to judge. His clothing was white as snow, his hair like the whitest of wool. He sat upon a fiery throne, brought in on flaming wheels, and a river of fire flowed from before him. Millions of angels ministered to him. Hundreds of millions of people stood before him, waiting to be judged. Then the court began its session, and the books were opened. I watched as that brutal fourth animal was slain, and its body was handed over to be burned because of its arrogance against the Almighty God and the boasting of its little horn. Next, I saw the arrival of a man, one who was like the Son of Man, brought there on the clouds from heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days and was presented to him. He comes on the clouds of heaven. Behold, he comes with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, they also which pierced him. And he was given the ruling power and glory over all the nations of the world, so that all the peoples of every language must obey him. In the time to come, he will rule with a rod of iron. He is perfect righteousness, justice, and perfect goodness. Only those who choose him are going to be in his final kingdom. His power is eternal. It will never end, and his government shall never fall. I was confused and disturbed by all that I had seen, Daniel had wrote in his report. So I approached one of those standing beside the throne and asked him the meaning of all these things. These 4 huge animals, he said, represent the 4 kings who will someday rule the earth, the 4 nations. But in the end, people of the Most High God shall rule the governments of the world forever and forever. The people of the Most High will rule. See, now the governments and the rulers, they're wicked. That's not how it's going to be. See, when we say, oh, that's not fair, that's not right, well, it's not. It will be. And that's what we have to see and know. And when we do see and know that, it makes it bearable to withstand these things, because we know that we have the greatest hope anybody has ever heard of. We can't even begin to hear or understand or imagine how awesome it's going to be. That's how good it is. The people of the Most High God shall rule the governments of the world forever and ever. And then I asked him about the fourth animal, the one so brutal and shocking, with its iron teeth and brass claws that tore men apart and stamped others to death with its feet. I asked also, too, about the 10 horns, and the little horn that came up after and destroyed the 3 other ones, the horn with the eyes and the loud, bragging mouth, the one that was stronger than all the others. For I had seen this horn warring against God's people and winning. He made war against the saints and was given to overcome them. But after the power of the holy people is broken, then the end comes. He makes war with the saints, but as soon as he allows them to be overcome, then he comes. Because that process is weeding out the people who are going to choose him or not.